Okay, take one. Real quick before we start here, okay? Hi, I'm Darren. It's Radio Free Canada. It's not like a serious day, but it's a serious day because we've had a story we've been covering for 4 years. They haven't. Okay, so the Atlantic Conveyor. Okay, it's serious. The Atlantic Conveyor is a big international current that runs around in the ocean and prevents things like ice ages. So what's happened is that in the last 4 years, we've been watching, the scientists to monitor the ocean currents. And for 4 years now, they've been warning us, hey, things are going wrong. It's slowing down. It's got less intensity, less salinity, all kinds of stuff. But above all, with the slowdown is its power. So basically, it has this current that runs around the Earth that brings warm water up from the south, causing things like spring to occur. It's down from like 12 horsepower to 4 horsepower. Well, it's a factor of 12 to 20 that it usually runs at. We don't know what kind of horsepower that is, but it's the ocean and it's a huge-ass current. It usually runs from 12 to 20. Now it's down to 4. So you would say that ocean current is not capable of bringing us the warm temperatures that it usually does. And boy, if it's not bringing the warm temperatures it usually does, the Atlantic Conveyor, we would see snow and the interior of the continent of North America would start to get really, really cold. And now we have snow from the interior of North America. Freezing temperatures. Spring is not happening. They're saying shortened growing season. The government is not prepared. If there is an asteroid, obviously they're not going to tell you because they're not telling you to start growing food right now, to build greenhouses and prepare for snow, an ice age, what they don't know. This highlights more than a few things, okay? Number one, just because they're in university doesn't mean that they know. Just because they're in mainstream, they don't know. Number two. Number three, just because they're in government and they inherited unlimited medieval destructive power doesn't mean they know. And it certainly doesn't mean that the news, the government, or the universities are working for your benefit. They're working to maintain their paychecks. That's it. So we have the government, 0.008% of the population. That's all of the government employees gathered up together, 0.008% of the population. And that's including the cops. And then you have the oligarch news, 0.00001% of the population. That's your news. Those two, a partnership, have said, we're going to ignore the Atlantic Conveyor and the fact we could go into an ice age. We could not get a growing season this year. It could not stop snowing. Okay? Not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying you haven't even been told that might happen. Because it might happen. I'm not painting fear. I want you to look it up. You think about it. The current that brings warm temperatures in the ocean up from the south every year and creates moderate temperatures in the northern hemisphere. They know this. That current is exceptionally low, going from a factor of 12 to a factor of 4 over the last 4 years. They've never discussed it. We had to get it from international news to find out that the National Oceanographic Institute that talks about dolphins and whales ain't talking about the fact that, oh, by the way, we might have an ice age. Maybe, maybe not, don't know. Because they have no clue of what would happen if the Atlantic Conveyor destabilized. And then we've got an election where we've got people on a podium in Alberta who are just spewing off all kinds of talking points, not talking about that one thing. What should we be doing to prepare for catastrophic climate change and inevitable economic meltdown because our economy is managed by central banks who have a track record of fucking up consistently for all of recorded modern time? I'm just wondering. It's not like we need a radio station to talk about this or anything. So, okay, time to get to work. Because obviously, I've got to fix things around here. And I need your help. Get right to it. I do need your help. All right? We were doing like a program that, we thought we had time. Well, Buddha says it, he goes, well, you think you got time, eh? We don't. We got to do something. So we're formalizing this radio station, and I need help. We're going to be looking at doing video, and we're going to be trying to produce. Not trying, well, we're succeeding. And I need your help. So www.positive-action.ca. We're going to get the news out there. I'm going to figure it out somehow to do this. And like many things in the bar industry and the restaurant industry, we're not really sure how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. And it'll work. We're going to feed 1 million people. We're going to urge people to start planting food and get ready to plant food right now. We need to phase out the oligarchs running the big box stores who have monopolized the food industry. And we have to go like, what happened in Mexico, where they nationalized vital services. They nationalized energy services because they're done. They're done with the oligarchs running things, profiting from them, and no reality occurring. So we need reality in Canada. We're a small country. We can do this. Obviously. So, it's time for us to get to work. It's time for us to make things happen. I need your help at www.positive-action.ca. It's time for the boots to hit the ground. So, I'm going to flick on the radio. We're going to have some fun, but we're going to talk about the seriousness. So I need you to like and share. And I do need you to like and share now. Okay? We need to get to work. Start growing food. If you're not growing food, you are food. That's the way it is. With the Atlantic Conveyor in the news, the reality, this is CFTG. I'm Darren Howard. And yeah, it's www.positive-action.ca. And yeah, our really heavy budget has allowed us to produce stuff like this. I mean, this is just earth-shaking. This should change the world, right? Nah, it's all we need. We don't need major things. We need you. We don't need you to be perfect. We don't need you to be strong. We don't need you to know everything. We need your help spreading out some flyers and starting to organize food. Okay. I am Darren Howard, CFTG and Radio Free Canada. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, we'll give them a second to get this is YouTube, so, check the links, right? And, subscribe and like and share and all that stuff. I'm not sure where it is. Is it over here? Thank you. Okay, flick on the radio. Let's get ready to fiddle while Rome burns.